When he thought all hope was lost, rescuers responded to homeless man's cries for help. A tender feeling invades us when we evoke home. A house is a shelter, a refuge for resting your body and soul from all the weariness, and thus a necessity for every human being. But some people live in the streets, permanently, with neither protection nor respite. And to be a homeless person is a terrible ordeal that slowly takes away your will to live and leaves you utterly vulnerable. Not having a home is furthermore often associated with being all alone in a world where we absolutely need company, fulfilling and supportive, whether it's family, friends, or simply someone to rely on. A need that's not only instinctive given our human sociable nature, but also spiritual and emotional. For the homeless, life becomes rather a constant struggle for survival. It's a strained adaptation and a continuous shrinking of dreams and ambitions, leaving us with a basic will to simply survive a cruel world that forces us to give in. But what could possibly be done when being in a difficult situation, knowing that we have no one in the world? What to do when we shout out loud knowing that there's nobody out there to respond to our cries of distress? Would it be possible to be saved? Continue watching Mike's story to find out. The story takes place in Honolulu, Hawaii, a paradise on earth, a foyer that inspires intimacy and relaxation, and of course a vacation destination for wealthy people from all over the world. The man of our story lives in Honolulu, but he's homeless. Mike lives in the streets of his beautiful city, but owns entirely nothing in it. He pillows the sand of the beaches, sleeps anywhere, seeking comfort in the serenity of the night. When the morning comes, the Heald College parking lot garage becomes a stage for him to practice his favorite hobby, baseball. Not only a pastime for Mike, baseball is also his ultimate diversion and a source of a little joy to help him forget about his struggle throughout every day. On a Friday, Mike was playing baseball when he lost one of his balls into a narrow space between the walls of the parking garage and a pharmacy. Being the most valuable of his possessions, Mike decides to go in pursuit of his baseballs without hesitation. Observing that the space where the ball was stuck was pretty tight, between 7 to 9 inches, Mike thought that he couldn't possibly fit in it. A moment of uncertainty passed while his thoughts rushed. Those baseballs were his most precious property, allowing him to practice an activity that he's actually passionate about, a hobby that makes him feel as he has a shred of normal human life. He thought to himself that he's very skinny, so he can absolutely fit in the narrow space and get his ball back. Mike decided to burrow deeper, and that's where the dilemma started. Sinking more profoundly, Mike realized that he was stuck, and that it might be impossible for him to get out of this plight. As hopeless as he was, Mike started screaming loudly, a desperate call for someone to hear him and come save him from that hole. According to Rodriguez, the property manager supervisor at the former college, tenants complained about Mike throwing a ball against the Walgreens parking wall from the complex's second level. Rodriguez confirmed that he saw Mike earlier that day when his ball dropped between the walls, and that Mike fell as he tried to regain it with a stick. Passengers heard Mike shouting and informed the authorities. The fire department responded quickly to the call and went to the scene with 5 units composed of 20 agents. Rescuers kept communicating with Mike and tried calming him while trying to find out a solution to the situation. The first thing that the rescuers envisioned was to throw him a long rope, but he couldn't reach it. The operation took a lot of time, and several rescue attempts failed during 3 hours of continuous work, assured by the firefighters who used saws, drills, and jackhammers trying to free Mike. The last attempt was to use saws to create an opening that was approximately 3 feet high and 4 feet wide through one of the walls. At 5:23 p.m., the rescuers were finally able to get Mike out from between the walls. Captain Albert McCallum of the Honolulu Fire Department declared that his men had to cut through with full concrete slab to create an opening that allowed them to get Mike out alive and well. Mike was taken to the hospital right after his rescue, not suffering from any serious injuries.